Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back for a little Anime Monday, reacting to anime on Monday. And today I'm back with a little My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 23, which is called Deku vs. Kacchan Part 2. So, if we recall, Part 1 was back in maybe the end of Season 1. Maybe it was end of Season 2. Can't remember for sure. That one was school sanctioned, though. It was a part of their training, and I think they were even on teams. Like, it was Deku and Uraraka, I believe, versus Kacchan and Aida. I think that was the pairings. And this one, of course, will be non-sanctioned. And Deku, or rather Kacchan, had Deku come outside at the end of last one, basically told him that he'd figured out, confronted him about the quirk, that figured out that he'd gotten it from All Might. Detective Kacchan's been paying attention. I said last time, some of the stuff he would know more than others because he's known Deku for so long, obviously knew that he didn't used to have the quirk. But some things was just like he was really paying hard attention, like putting the pieces together with the no moves and that you can transfer quirks. And he saw up close with All For One as well what some of his plans were, and he noticed that when All Might was kind of doing his retirement speech on the TV with everyone, he noticed Deku reacted to it differently. So he put all the pieces together. We've been getting hints for a while now that he, some foreshadowing that this was going to happen. So I'm not sure why he wants to fight him again right now. I don't think it's just like for some sort of revenge or something. Like, I think Kacchan must have something he wants to gain from it, like some type of experience, some type of new skill, some type of insight. Must be something. So we'll see. But it's interesting too because like a lot of times Deku has copied off Kacchan a little bit in terms of like some of his moves and stuff. So they could definitely learn from each other if they can actually be friends. But we will see. Oh, also, part of this was brought about because Kacchan did not get his license, nor did Todoroki. So not all the UA people passed it. The top two didn't, technically. So due to their issues with the second part of the test there, the rescue section. So that's interesting. Yeah, and speaking of All For One, we had a big scene with him and All Might, All Might going to visit him in prison last time as well. So see if that gets any follow through this time. But I would expect at least the first half of this one to be a fight between. I'm assuming, it's even in the title, so I'm assuming Deku's going to go through with it, agreeing to this fight. So let's go ahead and see how it goes down. So obviously a Kacchan Deku episode, as we knew it would be from the title and the setup and everything. So Kacchan won in the end, fair and square, I suppose. But it's a good fight. Deku did decide to go all out, not be a sandbag or whatever. Yeah, so interesting. Well, like I kind of said, it was basically like a therapy session for them. And I guess with All Might intervening at the end there and explaining everything, he at least thinks he made them into proper rivals now, which I think is maybe true when we see the very end post-credits there when Kacchan's actually answering, giving him feedback and stuff like that. So Kacchan thought what it was is that he felt responsible for what happened to All Might, obviously not knowing the full story that it was going to happen to him like that anyway. I guess he thought it started with because of that sludge monster, from the first episode or whatever it was, which is interesting. Yeah, I didn't think, and even Deku didn't consider it either, that it was about his feelings, or that he was carrying that with him the whole time. Obviously All Might didn't either, because he is so abrasive and everything. But yeah, obviously All Might being his hero as well, that's the one main thing they shared, other than them going to school together and all that. And then yeah, it was also partially like, why did you pick Deku and all that was the way I emulate you different than the way, or not as good as the way Deku does. In one sense I can see, yes, that makes sense that All Might would pick someone who's coming from Deku's perspective, even taking out the not having the quirk, which was probably part of it anyway, or was definitely part of it. But But yeah, with the having the heart wanting to save everyone versus wanting to, always win in that, no matter what you're up against, which, it does have some, there's some advantages to that as a hero too, that attitude as well, but certainly not as, it's more self-centered, of course, than the more magnanimous Deku reasoning. Yeah, and so a lot of talk about him always being behind me, but now ahead, all this sort of thing. And then also he's like, well, if you are the chosen one, you did get this power, then you should be at me or whatever. So he's going from that direction too. Yeah, and then it leads to the I will, So yeah, proper rivals now. Let's get on if they'll ever actually become friends, but there's the respect is starting to get there. So that's cool. I mean, even the setup is a little bit like, you could see it being like All Might and Endeavor in one way, because even Kacchan is like, has a fire thing too, but obviously it is different, from their past, and now All Might is trying to set them together on the right path here. But I do see, I think they probably put some of those similarities in there for a reason too. Yeah. Oh, and then you just gotta do some vacuuming. I like how UA has, I'm not surprised when they caught on to it right away, that students were breaking curfew or whatever. There's like a little robot thing on the wall or whatever that was calling into Aizawa. Poor Aizawa never catches a break. He's always on duty. Yeah, and then it was reiterated that it is, so Recovery Girl knows about everything too. That's right, I forgot about that. The principal knows everything, and he didn't say it this time, but I'm pretty sure his cop friend Sakuchi, or whatever his name is, knows everything too, right? So yeah, no, Kacchan. So that's the other thing they can stick together with, the kind of shared secret as well. I could help bond the two together. Also, not bad, good episode. I like the character development, good to see. And yeah, I'm excited for the next one. I'm not sure what ceremony they were just talking about going to, for the school or whatever. I don't know, does it have something to do with their licenses? I don't think so, because it seemed like Todoroki was going to. He was asking like what Kacchan's gonna do about his licenses. I assume he's still gonna be able to go to his class, or is he not, because he's on the house arrest, or it's gonna be put even further behind now. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, only 2 episodes left in the season, so we gotta see. I wonder if they're gonna, we didn't get anything obviously from the villains this time. We got we got a lot with All For One last time, but only a small amount of the rest of the stuff with Toga and all that. I want to see what's going on with that. Got Deku's blood, so yeah, I'm looking out for that as well. But do join me back for the next one, season 3, episode 24. Do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Comment, everything like that. And until then, I'm shoot styling on out of here. Peace. 以上よ